Hey guys, good morning, August 14th, 2020. One stock to short at the open on the bounce after initial drop, guys. The stock we're talking about this morning is Baidu. It announced earnings last night. Not a good earnings report. However, we've seen some stocks recently had bad earnings report that went higher. Here's the reasons why this stock actually has further room to drop. So, Chinese Netflix, known as ticker IQ, Baidu actually owns majority of the IQ shares. So, last night after market, Securities Exchange Commission announced a probe into IQ over some fraud allegations from a prominent short seller recently. So it is official that the company is going to go through an investigation. Definitely not a positive, and definitely not a positive as it relates to the Baidu shares as well. Now, that is on top of the earnings report. Again, I already mentioned, not a very hot earnings report for Baidu. Also, some pre-existing conditions add to the next bigger move in the stock, not just today, but over the course of the next few weeks. So let's take a closer look. IQ shares so far reacting negatively all the way from 22 down to 17. $5 move. Don't seem like a whole lot, but percentage-wise, guys, that's damn 20%, near that. So far, pre-market IQ shares are bouncing, but we're expecting a reversal. And as these shares of IQ are reversing, so will the Baidu shares. As you know, we don't like trading options on cheap stocks like IQ. However, in this case, an exception could be made. Just make sure you're not buying like way crazy out of the money puts, guys. That's a #1 mistake that most of the traders make. However, we highly recommend going with the Baidu trade instead of the IQ itself. Now, if you take a look at the weekly chart, I'm going to break the trade down real quick, guys. The market is going to open here in about 40 minutes. So we're not going to look at every little detail on the chart, but clearly there's a solid downtrend. There's conditions of the death cross. There is divergence on the RSI. There's a positive formation from the standpoint of short selling that's being created on the MACD right now. And pretty much nobody's interested in buying the stock. Understand that this type of conditions are actually happening to this Baidu stock while the rest of the market is going to the moon pretty much. For example, if we're to compare Baidu to something like another Chinese stocks like BABA, BABA is up substantially from like a low of, under 200s now, hitting recently a high of 269. At the same time, Baidu shares are not moving. They're not doing really anything. They're pretty much stuck in this range, but there's further signs here of a move lower in the stock. If we take a look at the daily chart, it becomes more and more obvious. Every time you get a black candle, the stock sells off. So we have a strong history of these black candle formation, which basically telling us investors are taking money out of the stocks while the price continues higher. If you don't know how to read the black candles, guys, I strongly encourage you to click the link below, schedule a 20-minute coaching call, and get this critical information answered that we go in depth in our stock divergences and stock pattern recognition course. Now, overall, what this really means is this stock is ripe for a break in the pattern. And this is exactly what happened, because typically when this stock reports earnings, what it typically does first is it goes higher and then sells off. Well, in this particular instance, last night after the stock announced earnings, it dropped initially, okay, and now slightly bounced and creating an optimum entry to buy puts while it's bouncing after the initial drop. We're going to take a look at the 1-minute chart in just a second, but for the purpose of this daily chart, guys, this is not a bullish pattern by no means, okay? We see an acceleration. Institutional investors were really trying to get out ahead of the earnings report with a ton of reversal candles. Basically, there was no buyers ahead of the earnings report right around here. There's clearly institutional investors' behavior that's pointing that are continually were utilizing a share price of 115 up to 135 to actually get out of their positions. Now, this is not the typical behavior for most of the stocks right now. So basically what we're saying, they were not interested in buying it before the earnings report and before these IQ SEC investigation was initially announced. They're certainly not going to be interested in buying the hell out of this thing today after all these bad news are actually hitting the market. Now, what makes us think that the stock can actually still got further room to go is you can see some of the key levels here on the stock are right around 95 and $100. So if we were to look just a little bit beyond today, looking maybe 2-3 weeks out, we easily think the stock could hit all these levels right here, 95 to 100. The next level we're targeting is about 111, 109 for today. Let me show you how this is going to break down. Officially, the pattern that we're noticing is a head and shoulder formation right here, which matches the criteria for head and shoulders perfectly. You got 2.5-month formation. Typically after this formation, we could see some substantial drops to the magnitude of 20%. So far after announcing earnings, this is where we're trading on Baidu, guys. So it went into the earnings report about 124.78, hit a low of 114.8, and pre-market, guys, it's right at 118. So if it does manage to open right around 118, it creates a really great entry on the bounce. And the bounce meaning that initially this stock drops to 114.80, then it bounces back to the 118 under all these negative conditions that are actually hitting the stock. So this creates an ideal entry where a lot of people would consider this buying the dip and would actually want to buy calls. We want to take advantage of the situation by noticing all these bearish divergences on the chart, all these bearish signs that are developing on the chart of the stock, by observing that the stock historically has been able to make rather consecutive moves to the downside within the course of multiple days. So today is basically the beginning of further drop in Baidu, which could continue over the course of the next couple of weeks. Now, for the purpose of trading it today, we're considering the first level. So this is our entry at 118. This is our exit at about first exit level, about 111.8. We think that not only the stock is going to revisit this level of 114.8, but it has a chance to actually drop below that. All, of course, contingent of how well the IQ shares performed during the trading session, and based off what we are calculating, they're not going to perform well. IQ shares expected to drop to at least 17, possibly break below that 17 level in the intraday session today. Now, with that said, the second level, if we see some huge volume coming in on the sell side, we can easily hit a level of 109.2 on Baidu. Now, easy target by next week is going to be 105. So understanding which strike to select today and which strike in duration to select beyond today is key on how much you're going to be able to make on this trade. Now, also keep in mind that sometimes these stocks, they do overshoots, and that's a frequent occurrence in the market to where, you know, the entry of 118 is you could be targeting, you could be getting in, and the stock could temporarily shoot over, let's say, to 119, 119.5, 119.8, okay? That is still a great entry. So instead of just entering your position all at once, you can buy a couple of contracts at 118. You can buy and add a few more contracts. If it does do that overshoot, which oftentimes will happen, you can add a few more contracts at 119, 119.8, right around that area, in expectation of an overall reversal by the end of the day and definitely by next week. So if you have any questions about this trade, guys, please do not trade if you don't understand what the hell was just explained to you. And if you have any questions about this particular trade or any other questions about trading options and trading earnings plays, make sure you schedule a 20-minute trading coaching call right now. Take action now, guys. The market in the next 90 days is going to give you some phenomenal opportunities. I certainly don't want you to miss out on them. Visit 13marketmoves.com for more information. Let's roll. I'll catch you in the next trade soon. So here's a cup with a handle that all the chartists are looking at on Wall Street, and they're saying, hey, we're about to break out to the moon from here. While, even though this is what they're saying, the reality and the actions speak exactly the opposite. While this formation is indeed has taken place, they're taking out money out of pretty much every stock. This is why you're actually getting this intraday drops to the magnitude of 20, 30 points and a magnitude of 50, 60 points in certain key stocks that have been propelling this market higher to this double top formation. So to give you an illustration, basically, if we're to take a look at the S&P 500, here's your cup with a handle formation. We're at the level where all the Wall Street basically, they're telling you that we're about to get this breakout higher. Okay, while in reality, we're about to reverse and move lower. These guys were entirely wrong, costing these pension funds hundreds of billions of dollars back in January 2020, and they're about to get shit wrong again. Okay, so the only way to make the money right now, guys, is it's the simplest trade ever, is to short these levels. Now, there's a variety of ways you can do that now. You can simply short the indexes, but there's some indexes that are better to short than some of the other ones. And if you're curious to know what they are, schedule a 20-minute coaching call with a senior trader here, and we'll walk you through these trades. Now, but two is, some stocks, they're definitely going to outperform the indexes on the way lower. So you will actually be able to make a lot more money by finding the best shorting opportunities. That's what we do here at 13 Market Moves. Now, for some of you that are new, you may be wondering, well, why do you get so excited about, stocks dropping or the market crashing, or, why is this even important? So a typical average investor, especially you're brand new, all you want to do basically, you just want to buy shit and wait till it goes higher. Well, just think of this illustration I'm going to give you right now. Okay, somebody that buys a house at $300,000, okay, let's say for investment purposes, they're hoping that the house at some point is going to be worth more, which is $350,000. Now, they make the $50K, they sell it to the next guy that gets in at $350,000 because he thinks that he's going to be able to get $400,000. Now, at some point, this guy resells it for $400K, and another guy buys it in the expectation that it's going to go to $450,000. Now, at that point, this guy that's getting at $450,000, he's like, oh my God, I watched this house on the market from $300,000 to $350,000, and I missed out on it going from $350,000 to $400,000. Now this guy, damn it, I'd rather buy it right now. So he gets in, and he's like, man, $50K, that's maybe, look at how fast this thing just keeps going higher and higher and higher, and it just, look, man, maybe this thing is going to go to $1 million. So he doesn't sell it at the $500K. Okay, when what happens, he got in simply because he kept observing that the trend was higher and higher and higher. And that's what most of the Wall Street analysts, a 5-year-old can look at the chart and tell you if shit is going higher. But that's not how money is made. Okay, money is made by identifying what is actually coming next. And during certain conditions, which we can clearly point out with the 13 Markets Move formula right now, this is the moment where this guy that should be taking the $500K for the house, he always stays he's welcome, thinking that the shit is going to go to the moon, like Tesla stock is going to break out and it's going to go to 3,000. Okay, he should be selling the damn thing this morning, but yet he's going to always stay he's welcome, and he's going to be getting out when Tesla is going to be trading at 1,000, which is about $650 lower than where it's trading right now. But this illustration, okay, at some point, okay, housing prices that don't go forever to the moon. You've been around 2007, 2008. You know how that rodeo works, okay? So if this is not your first rodeo, you know that we're pretty much, you know what to do, or maybe you missed out on an opportunity what to do. You cannot short sell a house, meaning you cannot, let's say open a short position in a house and capitalize on this drop. But this is the beautiful thing about the stocks. You can't do that. And because most of the drops, they happen much faster than the price action of something moving higher, utilizing short-term options, guys, makes the most sense. So if you don't understand what that really means and how it can literally transform your trading account from whatever it is, okay, to where it could hugely be up 400, 500, 1,000% over the next 3 weeks to 3 months, if you don't know what strategy you should be utilizing in order to take advantage of this, Okay, you need to definitely schedule a call. Guys, schedule a call today. Don't wait another day. Next 90 days in the stock markets is going to be absolutely freaking insane. I don't want you to miss out. And if you don't understand how money is made when stocks actually drop, maybe you shorted some stocks in the past, made a little bit of money, but the ultimate best way to move your account higher, no matter where it's at right now, is to utilize options to short stocks. So if you would like to get more understanding, a clear map of how you can profit from current market conditions, schedule a 20-minute trading coaching call with a senior trader here at 13 Market Moves, or at least visit 13marketmoves.com to get more information. So with that said, guys, trade like a rock star, short the double top. The mother of all double tops is here. Congratulations to all the short sellers. That's what we've been waiting for. Let's roll. Let's get this done today.